Hello, my beautiful collective. Elsie here to do a reading for you. This is an all signs reading. It is for everybody, so it's not just for your energy, it's for everybody's energy. So this is an all signs reading, and I just want to thank you, JP7608, for your idea over on the community board. So we've opened a community board discussion, y'all. Just asking you to put in the comments what kinds of readings you would like to see. And if I can make it into a general reading, I'll definitely do that. So JP, your idea was to do what is my purpose? So what is our purpose here, right? And reading. And although I didn't want to do one reading for everybody as it came to that, I think I've kind of come up with a spread that we could do 3 in 1. So we're going to do 3 different paths is what we're going to do. 3 different purposes. And then you can see if you are feeling engaged with one of those purposes. All right. So this is an all signs read. Thank you for attending here. And that means that there is no timestamps because I'm going to ask you to put on your intuitive hat. I'll call out the signs and symbols as I see them so you can understand what's on the table here. If you haven't been reading tarot with me for a while already, some of you have. All right. So I'll do my best to relay what's going on here. So we are doing 3 different paths. So 3 different purposes. And whichever one you resonate is totally up to you. And let's see. We are using the Lenormand and then we'll go to the Kipper. All right. What do we got? We've got card 9, represents love. We've got, oh, interesting. We've got the anchor. To me, that means that something is really, this particular anchor is breaching the surface. And so it feels like somebody was paralyzed with worry. I feel like that anchor was probably on the bottom underneath the water, felt like they were drowning. But now we've got a purpose. We know what direction we're going. It feels like somebody's breaching the surface with more information than before they submerged. Someone's got a bright idea. Someone is breaching the surface here. Oh, interesting. That is actually something that came up in Sagittarius's reading today. So if you're dealing with a Sag, you might want to do that. All right, here we go. The second purpose I feel is to be someone who wants to gain abundance, which is money, lots of all the things that everybody loves. That somebody here is like, your purpose here is to not only get gain, because this is incredibly good gain. This is all the beautiful things that you ever want in life. It's all the abundance, and it's from the universe. Card number 34 is a 7, and for me as a reader, 7s are always about heaven. So I feel that somebody here, your purpose is to build a long-lasting legacy of finances. And I want to say that your legacy, I feel, is going to house people. Like, it almost feels like your legacy that you leave in abundance, financial things, money, that you are someone who is going to leave it. Not only are you going to create generational wealth in your life, in this life, but I feel as though you are someone who will make sure that everybody is covered. Like, it feels like you want to make sure that the homeless are housed, and like you're the loyal one, the loyal friend. Like, you want to see everyone, you want to take charge. Card number 4 is the Emperor energy. And in the Emperor's house, the Emperor's in charge. And I think that you're the one who's going to take charge of showing people how really beautiful humans can be, right? And I know dogs aren't humans, but I feel like, the ultimate companion is the dog, right? It's an animal that doesn't judge, doesn't have the ability to do anything but live in the moment, and so they're always happy. All right, one more. All right. So the overall energy is building a bridge. Wow, this one here almost feels like someone that I'm feeling here, and I'm feeling you because I'm ready to. I'm just trying to keep it together. I really feel like you are here to cross people over. living or dead. You're here to cross people over. You might be someone who is a death doula, someone who helps people, as they're approaching the last moments of their life. Maybe you're, with the family, coaching the family, showing them how to go through it. It feels like somebody is teaching people about teaching people that are in sadness, in a lot of sadness, like the depths of sadness. They may have lost a loved one, or, been through a really terrible time. Someone who just, that would be so traumatized that they would stop talking, or like it feels like really deep healing that you're giving here. But I want to say that it's like you are the one teaching the people who are in the depths of this sadness. You're teaching them love and how beautiful and loving it can be at the bottom of the well. Like it feels like you're very empathetic. And I say bottom of the well because I'm thinking about Brene Brown, and she did say that there's the big difference between sympathy and empathy. This is why I love her, because she speaks my language. She's just like, no bullshit, right? She says the difference between sympathy and empathy is sympathy is walking up to the hole and seeing someone in there and saying, oh, bless your heart, sorry you're in the hole, and keep walking. And then the empathy is, I'll be right in there. I'll sit down with you in that hole until somebody comes to save us. And I feel like that's your purpose in this life. Ooh, I like that energy. Wow, that was really good. Okay, let's put down some Kipper and see how that changes things here. So I feel like the first person that you're here to explore. You're here to fight your fears. You're here to, your purpose is to breach the surface. As we look at this card, we can see that this anchor is coming out of the water, right? Indicating that maybe now that we've breached, we can soar because there's an eagle up here. So we have the 9 of swords, and that is the 9 of spades, right? The 9 of swords, which tells me that someone is breaching the surface from a lot of worry or stress or strife, or this really broken pattern of sleeping, insomnia. Like it's so worrisome, it keeps you awake. But we have card number 35, and I think that you've worked really hard on. I think you've worked really, this life for you is a moment, and it is, to work really hard on going at things that scare the hell out of you. Finding new paths, being the person who is the one who drags people along with them on their quest, It feels like the compass is telling me that it's like, pick a direction. Any direction is yours. I'm just seeing that we've got all of the suits displayed here. There's spades, clubs, diamonds, and hearts, which is swords, wands, pentacles, and cups. So it feels like any direction is yours, and anywhere you go, you're going to get this reciprocity. 4 and 2 is 6. I think you are someone who has decided that you want to be here for to fight through things that make you anxious or that you're scared of. I think you're the risk taker. You're the one who throws on the backpack and goes to walk a trail in Oregon forever. Like it feels like you're the one who's doing van life, or you would love to do that. It feels like you're the adventurer, and you're here to do the adventuresome stuff. I also think that you're here to speak out for others. That you're here to speak your mind because you're wise. I think you're someone who's wise, probably beyond your years. So you could be someone who's young and is really wise beyond your years. I don't know if y'all have been on my side of TikTok, but I'm telling you, there's some brilliant people out there, and they are very young, and I love to see that in a younger generation. So I feel like for you up here, that your purpose is probably to show others how to speak lovingly, because the Queen of Swords is here, and although she is very insistent, persistent, with clarity and lots of facts, she's going to come with the PowerPoint presentation just so you can know that you're wrong. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person has a lot of wisdom, and this person is able to convince people or let people see the other side of something, give them an argument however they think, because this person speaks up lovingly. I think that, excuse me, you're the person I feel it's breaching the surface, and that you are actually here in this life to have adventure, to experience everything that you possibly can. Yeah, you're expected to do it. And I think that you're expected to do it. And look, I always share some of my spiritual type views on this channel, and you don't have to believe them at all. Please don't if it doesn't fit with what you might believe. But I feel that we write our own playbook before we get here. And then we hand it off to the universe, and then we head on down here, and the universe does what's in our playbook, keeps us on track. So we can make sure that we can get the things done that we need to get done before we leave. I think the expectation, it almost feels like somebody here is in a job where you speak up for others. So I want to say that maybe you're an advocate for some sort of small interest group or even a large interest group, that you might speak on behalf of people who maybe can't speak, like literally cannot talk. You might be a healthcare aide, but you have a lot of wisdom, and then you're used to speaking in loving ways to people to help them understand. I want to say that this is probably what you're doing right now. You could be in healthcare as well. You could be a nurse. But I feel like the reason that you're supposed to be here, and the reason that this, although is satisfying, but you know there's more. I think that you know that there's more out there, and that's because there is. You will do this in your life. You will be the caregiver and the lover and the person who's teaching people how to treat you, how to treat each other. I think you speak up in loving ways for people because you have wisdom. But I also feel that with this 9 of Swords, it's only going to take one more sword to close out this cycle, and then you're going to breach the surface, and off you are on your adventure. I feel like you're supposed to be an adventurer here, and that's the expectation. You're supposed to be seizing every moment. And if you're aggravated in your life, or things aren't going your way, or although you get paid really well for this, if someone said if there was no money and no time, and time wasn't a thing and money wasn't a thing, and you could do anything you wanted, what would you do? That's your intuition. And I think your intuition tells you, although you're doing the right thing, or what you were raised to believe is the right thing, I feel like it's almost time for you to breach the surface and soar, because we're at the 9s here, the 9 of Swords. And I feel like when this 10 of Swords comes up, when you breach the surface, I feel like it closes off this pattern here of you being in this job of advocacy, or it's being engaged in good works. But I feel as though your heart calls you somewhere else. And I think what I think it is the expectation that at some point something's going to happen that's going to yank you from the bottom through to the top, and you're going to soar, and it's going to be on some sort of an adventure. Because card number 28 is this 10, and 10 breaks down to a 1, and that's the beginning of something. It's like you're waiting for the beginning of something. So I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you are 17 or 105. It feels like you have an expectation that you should be adventuring more, trying things more, risking a little more, in a very balanced sort of way. But it feels like somebody feels their heart calling them. And I would say that you're actually correct, because your playbook is adventure. I think that's what you're supposed to be doing here. All right. So for this, if this is something that is resonating with you, I feel like you're an excellent friend. And I really feel like you are someone who teaches other people how to be excellent. I want to say, I'm looking at the 10 of Hearts, which tells me that that's 10 cups. It feels like people, like it's like a joy to be in your energy. People love to be in your energy. And not only because you're the 10 of Cups, but because you're so loyal and grounded and kind, and you're always happy to see people. Oh, what is that? Charlie, hang on a second here. Morrison. What is her name? Her last name is Morrison. Oh gosh. She has a quote, and you can probably Google the quote, and then you'll know her first name if you need to. But she just passed recently in the last couple of years. She's, I see her face. She's got dark skin. She's got beautiful braids, and she always braided it with different colors, purples and blues. But she was a woman. She was a woman of age, right? Like she was in her 60s. Toni Morrison, that's who she is. Okay, so Toni Morrison once said, and it never left me, that when your child walks into the room, do you greet them with a smile? And I never forgot that. And I'm paraphrasing, please. She says it more eloquently than I. But do your eyes light up when your child walks in the room? That's what it is. And I feel like this person, you're the person who is here on the earth to greet people as they come in the door and show them how wonderful they are. Like, it feels like people love to be in your energy, because when you walk through the door, that you find the brightest smile and the kindest person, and you know that they're loyal, and you know that they're fun, and they're always happy to see you, or you're happy to see them. And they always feel like the only person that ever gets that greeting, but I really feel that you greet everyone that way. Toni Morrison is beautiful. You should research her. Beautiful woman. Left us some beautiful lessons, just like Maya Angelou. So I think that you, my friend, are someone who is here to accumulate wealth. And I think that you are here to accumulate wealth, and not just for the purpose of gluttony. I feel that someone of this caliber, loyal and kind and happy and grounded and always there for someone, I feel like the reason that you are accumulating wealth is because you are the emperor, and you see your neighborhood or your city or your state or your province, you see that as your empire. And I want to say that you're someone who, if you haven't yet accumulated a lot of wealth, I feel that you will. And it will end up being your job. Start being your job to find ways to accumulate money quickly. Look, we have 34 here. I feel like through your job, you will find a way to start accumulating wealth really quickly. And I feel that you are, by the way, that's 7-7. I feel that you will do that, because that's what the fish are. It's ultimately abundance. Abundance in love, abundance in happiness, abundance in money. Like, it's just, the whole life is nutritious, right? It's a really good life. I feel that you are someone who is accumulating wealth not only for to make sure that your posterity is taken care of, so generational wealth, but I feel like you are someone who is an innovative thinker. And I think that at some point, the wealth that you accumulate is no longer going to be impressive to you. Everybody hits that point, and then they start getting absurd, right? I feel that when you hit that point where your money, your accumulated wealth is no longer impressing you, I feel you start to build homeless shelters, or build a tiny house place where people who are homeless can go. Or I feel like you start looking at your state or your country or your province, wherever you are, your city, your town, you start looking at it like you're the emperor. And I feel like you take charge to do something that is really very loving and kind. Like, it's like you create jobs, or you open a school so people can learn. It's totally on your cost, because I think that you are like Elon Musk kind of level of money, of wealth. And I feel that you also are able to, to impress upon people to do the same, because I feel you're the emperor. We have the 4, whether you're feminine or masculine. I feel like you are the emperor. You are the one who stands up for everyone, who stands out at the front of the line and says, hey, remember us over here? We have something to say. That's what it feels like. It feels like someone is going to stand up in their community and say, hey, what about these people over here? And I'm willing to fund it. And I can, because I have the money to do that. So I feel like your purpose is to have generational wealth, to create generational wealth, but not only that, is to also create generations of people like this, who are beautiful and kind, and that their face lights up when their friends and family walk in the room. The whole point of that quote that she said was because she said, as parents, when our children walk in the room, we're more concerned about what their hair looks like. How come that button's gone? How come your shoes untied? We're sort of looking them over that way. And she just said, like, when your child walks in the room, Does your face light up? And I think your face does light up. And I think that's why you end up with all these blessings, the generational wealth to bless and help others. It's why you become the emperor. That's what you're here to do, to become the emperor so you can speak up for other people and make the people realize, no matter who they are, no matter what their station is, that they should find somebody whose face lights up when they enter the room. All right. Yeah, I was kind of getting a little bit emotional when I was feeling this bottom road energy here. I felt a little like it feels like somebody here is a death doula, or helps or counsels people who are losing family members to crossing over. I feel like you are someone who is teaching other people about divine timing and how we choose our path here. That's my belief. It doesn't have to be yours. The expectation is that we write the playbook before we get here to get in the game, coach, right? Some of us come with we all come in different uniforms. Some of us we look very different from each other, right? So I want to say that you are someone who your purpose here is to lead people to feeling not necessarily comfortable with it, but easing family and friends into a situation that is really tough, like crossing over to the next realm. And I feel like you do it in a very beautiful, respectful, I'm looking at the orchids, beautiful, respectful, solid way. These orchids are also etched into the glass. It feels like you will teach generations to be this way. It's the King of Spades, which is the King of Swords. And so you could be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. It feels as though you use your smarts, you use your intelligence in a way that is also very kind and beautiful and sweet. Because here's the new beginning, right? Here's the end. Here's the new beginning. To me, this is the feeling of sadness because someone has left the earth. That's what it feels like. But it feels like you are the person who is here to teach other people how to get through that, and how to get through it in a way that they can understand and teach it to their children and their children's children about how we transition out of this life, but that it's not the end. My belief doesn't have to be yours. So I want to say, if you're up here, that you could be the Queen of Swords, who is Libra, but also Gemini or Aquarius in this reading. We have both cards are swords here. You could be someone who is, if you're in this category here, I feel like you could be, we've got the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups here. So I feel like, and we've got water. So I feel like you're probably very heavily psychic. You're probably very heavily in water energy. You might even be triple water. But you also could have some fire maybe. Like maybe like your Venus or your Jupiter maybe might be in fire. Probably Jupiter might be Leo or Aries, something that pushes forward, Sagittarius energy. So it feels like you could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn here. And this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, 34 and 34, right? The Taurus, the earth signs are really good at making money, and we have occupation next door. So that's what makes me think that you get an overabundance of money and you start creating jobs in your city. You start like maybe you're teaching, opening a school, teaching people how to have a creative way of making their own money. Doesn't have to be sewing, but there's all kinds of career colleges that can teach people practical things. If you're looking down here, I feel like you are someone who might be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. You could be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. It could be any signs, really. We've got them all in the bottom right-hand card, bottom right-hand corner of this card. Oh, I don't know why it was so hard to say something. It's I feel like you could be any sign here, really. You know what's interesting is card number 36 and 37. Gosh, I just love these cards. They make me talk for hours. And to me, this is sadness because of a loss. And it feels like somebody here, it's like the 6 of clubs is here, which is the 6 of wands, which is victory after a hard time. That's what makes me think that you are the person who is going to help people get through their loss or cut through their sadness. We have card number 37 and 36, right? They follow each other. From the sadness, we go to this place of card number 37 is goes to a 1, right? Because it's a 10 and then breaks down to a 1. We have this breaks down to a 9. So I feel like after the sadness, it feels like there's a new beginning here because it is divine timing, and that's when you enter the picture. You might be someone who is a psychologist or a psychiatrist or someone who teaches with love. And I want to say that you help these people have a new beginning. You help them see things from a perspective that they never saw it from before. Kind of beautiful. All right. And I think that the overall energy here is building a bridge. So it's like, it's time to close the gap on some things. So whether you are the adventurer, I feel like yes, Charlie just showed me somebody sliding into home base, but that this person is like mud and blood on their face. Like this person doesn't care. Like they just are just going at life. Yeah. And I think that you have taken care of everyone else long enough and it's time for you to go. And I think that's how you're closing the gap in your life. It feels like you jump a timeline from Florence Nightingale to Houdini. All of a sudden you're like, living the van life, which to me feels really beautiful and relaxed, and you being in charge of you. Okay. I feel that if you are the person here, that you're closing the gap and building a bridge from possibly poverty to helping people to gain purposeful occupations by opening a school. Maybe you're going to offer schooling for free for anybody who wants to come in. But I really do think it's gobs of money. Like I think it's a lot of money that you become unimpressed with, and you want to make it. You want to use it for good. And so I think that you are the person who is here to help others by using your smarts, King of Swords, King of Hearts, by using your love, by building homes, by ruling like the Emperor over all the land and making sure everyone's taken care of. All right. There we go. You are someone, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got Virgo here. It feels like you love it best. You will start to love that you don't know what's coming up. You don't know if it'll be happy. You don't know if it'll be great, but you're going to keep meditating. You're going to keep on the right path, and you're taking inspired action. This is going to pop up in somebody's life, and you're not going to expect it. Nope. And I'm telling you, when you switch timelines, it's just like that. One day you're doing this, one day you're doing that. One day I was chained to a cubicle in a really big building, and the next day I had my own business. All right, there's the Emperor. We were talking about the Emperor, weren't we? Okay, these ones all fell out. There's a lot of them, but I'll just kind of go over them. So we have that the Emperor has a bright idea, feels like a breakthrough, and it feels like it's a conscience as well. We have somebody who really loves to work on passionate projects, and there's the thing is that we're always working at the level of the Page of Wands because it's always brand new. We're always creating something, and I don't care if you don't like it. I'm taking this path today. I know we were on that path yesterday, but now we're going this way. And it feels like you love to work in this manner, that it feels like organized chaos a little bit is what it feels like. And I feel like you go from a place of being really uninterested, the Four of Cups, really uninterested with life and all of the wealth that you've accumulated, and then you start taking it off the top and throwing it at good causes. And I think you're gonna leave that as a legacy. Plus, I feel like there's generational wealth here. All right. Yeah, there we go. So we have the King of Swords, right? Who's right here. King of Swords is in the bottom right-hand corner of that card. So this is your passion. This is your purpose. Right here, you got passion in your heart. You're all over the place. I think it's going to be travel that is going to take you. You'll travel to places to do this work. And the Ace of Wands tells me you're completely passionate about the things that you speak of. You truly believe it. You have all the facts. And I think that your purpose here is you're the person who is supposed to be helping people from a spiritual point of view, a religious point of view. I don't really care what point of view, whatever it is you do to help these people let go of their loved ones, help them cross over, teach them about divine timing and fated things that have to happen at certain times. And I think that you're doing it in the most loving, kind way, because you are you have the brain power of like a lawyer or like a doctor or someone who really is very innovative and creative and is always using their mind to help others to pass through these really hard times. It feels like you're a death doula, but I want to say on a bigger scale. I want to say that you teach this to other people, because the King of Swords is the teacher. And I think that you are teaching people about this, about divine timing and why things have to end so others can begin. I think you're teaching somebody that. You're teaching people that things never truly end. They only end for one purpose. So something else can begin. So another soul can come back to earth, right? Yeah, that person is off to a new life. It doesn't end there. We're off to the new life. All right. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for the great idea, JP. And I hope that some of this resonated. Love to hear you in the comments. Love you guys. I'm up for now. I'll be back. Bye-bye.